Hey, what's going on? Super Tech here, starting my channel up. Subscribe and like it if you like the content. Um, Today we're going to be working on the 2007 Baja mini dirt bike, or pit bike. I wouldn't really call it a pit bike. It's not running right. It hasn't been running right. So we're going to go ahead and we're obviously going to go through the bike and see what we can do to fix it. We're going to go ahead, we're going to pull the carb in this video. Hopefully in this video we can go ahead and adjust the valves, or at least check our valve clearances, and a bunch of other small things I need to do to it, like the chain. Needs a new chain. It's actually maxed out right now. It needs, the front end either needs bushings or it needs bearings because it's loose. So we'll have to go ahead and take a look at that. Trying to think here what else we might be looking at here. I guess we'll dive into it and see how far it takes us. Alright, well, let's have at it. Hey, what's going on, guys? Well, we're back. We're going to pull the carburetor. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that this fuel petcock or fuel shutoff is in the horizontal position. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to want to pull your clamp off your fuel line so you can remove your fuel line from your carburetor. You're going to want to go ahead and loosen her up. Slide that out of the way. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. There she goes. Come. Okay, once you get that loosened up, go ahead and get that out of the way. You're going to want to grab a pair of vice grips. I like to grab the fuel line, and I like to make sure I got it latched enough so that way we're not going to be losing any fuel, whatever's in the line. I don't want it all over the place. Got a few drips, but nothing too crazy. Go ahead and get that out of the way here for now. Tuck that up somewhere. I'm not sure where I usually put it. Right there. I'm sure you can't see it anyway. Okay. The second thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and just loosen this nut. This is your throttle, and there's a slide in there with a needle, and that needle decides how much fuel you get. You might even be able to slide this up without even removing the carburetor. I cannot remember. Yep, you can. Get that out of there. You want to go ahead and pull this right out of the way. Really what you're looking at there is that's your throttle, and there's your slide, and here's your needle. And to adjust the amount of your idle is based on this needle, and it's how far this needle sits down. Your idle is actually adjusted right here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. Okay. So next thing we're going to want to do is remove these two 10mm screws right here. They're 10s or 8s, I'm not sure. 10. Smells like gas. Alright, we got one out. Let's go ahead and remove the other one. Ooh, we got a little bit of fuel dripping off the throttle. Boy, I should have got the ratchet set up. Boy, that would have been a little faster. I suppose it's all about the video content. Takes a little longer. Sorry, guys. But anyway, we're going to remove these two 10mm bolts. It's just easier to move them right off the intake than it is to take it off the side of the carb sometimes. And we're ready to remove the carburetor. You got these two lines that come off the bottom. This one is your float bowl drain, so you can drain the float bowl at the end of the year or when you're done riding, whichever. And this one is your overflow. If the float bowl ends up actually overflowing, it'll come out of here, where as you drive, the float bowl's bouncing, and it'll make the fuel, and any extra fuel will drip out down this line, so that way it's not dripping onto your engine, potentially to cause a fire. So anyway, we got this out. So let's pull that out of there, and let's get it up on the bench and take a look at it. I think we're gonna be pretty good. We might just pull the float bowl and see how it looks, but we'll see. We got the carb on the bench here, and we're about ready to go right through it. First thing I want to do is go ahead and put my lines in a bottle, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of tip the carb over, and just keep tipping it like this. That way I can get all the fuel out of it without it running all over the, at least as much of it anyway, so I'm not running all over the rag here. Alright, now that most of the fuel's out of it, or at least some of it anyway, which it doesn't look too bad. I know it hasn't really sat long, but there's not much water or anything in it. There shouldn't be. It's got fresh gas in it, so I just filled it up the other day when I took it for a test drive and it didn't run very well. That's why we're doing the work. So the first thing you're going to need is a Phillips, and you're going to want to pull these two screws right here. You might get some fuel. Not sure. Depends on how much I got out of it, how much you get out of it. Most carburetors are set up the same as this anyway. This is a pretty generic carburetor. This is a, what do they call a China carb or whatever. This is a knockoff Honda engine. Which, oh, I don't know if you can see in there. There's a little bit of stuff down there in the bottom. Nothing too crazy though. Nothing too crazy. Up here. Oh yeah, it got sand in it. Must have been from when I was riding it last year and I swamped it in the mud. It's full of sand. The whole carburetor's full of sand. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and pull the go ahead here and pull the air filter off. Ooh. Let's pull the old air filter off. Take a look here. This was the entry point for the dirt. Oh boy, yeah. Well, this was definitely my run issue. I thought the valves were out of whack, but I don't think so. Ooh, she's crunchy. She's crunchy. She's very, very crunchy. Oh yeah, a lot of dirt in there. Okay, well then I guess we should proceed to go ahead and taking it out farther. Okay, you're going to want to go ahead and you're going to want to go ahead. You're going to want to remove this pin. Put that aside. What I like to do is I'll actually take the float bowl and I'll set it down. And I'll put all my stuff in it. That way I don't lose anything. Go ahead and there's our float bowl. Set that right in there. Here's our needle. It's got a little piece of rubber at the end that makes the seal. So if once that gets rotted away, it's done. You'll need a new carburetor. These are really cheap online, so it's not an overly big deal. Ooh. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll remove the main jet. Ooh. Maybe not. Who put that in there? Who's the last guy to take this apart? This guy was a beast. Wow, I put that in there tight. You don't need to tighten it like that. I don't know why it's so tight. Hope this one's not as tight. This is I believe this is our idle circuit. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. There we go. We're all right here. Just can't see today. Well, actually, I just got home from work, so I'm kind of tired, but... Okay. Well, we got our secondary. Throw that in there. We're going to want to go ahead. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're going to go ahead and pull this out. Ooh. There we go. We got that baby loose. Go ahead and pull this out. Throw that in our cup. Alright, the only one last thing you could pull out, I think it's called the exciter, or the emulsion tube. What you want to do is flip the carburetor over, and right there is the emulsion tube. What you want to do is just push that baby right out. So you go ahead and get yourself a screwdriver small enough, like this one. You go ahead and you shove it right in there, and you just push, just like that. And here it is on the other side. It only goes in one way, and that's the same way it came out. You go ahead and throw that in your cup. I'm gonna leave the gasket right on it. It's gonna swell when I throw it in the gasket will swell when I throw it inside the chem dip. Let's go ahead and grab our can of chem dip here. You want to go ahead and make sure you take off this right here. You're going to make sure you go ahead and take off the float bowl drain hose. That does not need to go in there. Then you go ahead and you set your parts in the basket real gently. And then, actually I'm going to take this right out of here so I can take the vent line off the carburetor. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't gently set it in here. Perfect. Now we'll go ahead and close her up. Close her up and let her soak. Okay guys, well while that's soaking, let's go back to the dirt bike. So here now we're going to take a look at the intake and the exhaust valve. Now, I've never checked them on this bike. I have no idea if they're in or out. So we'll have to take a peek. The intake is, I don't know if you can see this, probably not. This is a what they call a feeler gauge. The intake is 0.002 or 0.002. And the exhaust is 0.003 or 0.003 of an inch. So first thing you're going to want to do, go ahead and we're going to pull our valve cover. Alright guys, I got my 17mm socket now because the crescent wrench wasn't panning out. This thing is just ridiculously tight. Well, I can't even hold the bike, it's that tight. That's ridiculous. This does not need to be tight, guys. Not this tight. Wow, I'm chewing it right up. That sucks. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Ow. Got it. Boy, did that ever hurt. Wow. Alright, guys. That took a lot, but I got it. I had to use the torch, so. Okay, here we go. Alright. Now, what we're looking at is we got our valves right in here. Ooh. You want this O-ring to stay with this cap because you don't want it to stretch or shrink or anything crazy. Or if it does, you want to shrink back onto the cap and not this. Okay. Well, we're back. Next thing we need to do is go ahead and pull off this cover right here. 8mm. Boys. It'd help if I had the right tools. I don't know where my little ratchet is. There it is right there underneath the shifter. Go ahead and pull our second one. Come on. Alright. Now, what we're looking for are timing marks. Wow. This bike has never really been worked on besides the carburetor. And the new shock I installed in the back. Whoa. She looks like she's been running rich. She's pretty black. But we'll gap it. We'll clean it up. I don't really want to put a new one in it. This dirt bike's not worth that much. So let's see here. Right there. I'm guessing that's our mark, this little tick mark right here. Oh, right there. Okay. I'm just making sure that this is what they want me to look at here. Okay. Okay, we got her right there. That's top dead center of the compression stroke because it's got no wiggle. You see that? None. Now, we should be able to come over to our valves, which we got nice and neatly covered up right now. And they should have... Ooh. No play. Alright guys, I think we're going to have to wrap it up for this video. I'm getting kind of tired and the video's starting to get kind of long. But so far we got to the valves, we got the carb soaking, and we're going to have to put that in. And then possibly we'll start it up and run and see how we can do. Maybe adjust it, get it running right, and then we'll look at the other issues that need to be taken care of with the bike. There's definitely plenty of issues, so we're going to be going right through it. Pretty much, this is like a maintenance on it. So if you like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. And I got plenty of more projects to go. I got a go-kart that I'm looking to, I got a go-kart and a brand new 212 right here with the governor pulled. So I'm looking to throw that baby together, maybe with a live axle. You never know. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it.